Boom, and we're live. Good morning, everyone. What's happening, people? Good morning, Europe, and welcome everyone to our live stream. Happy Monday, people. We are proud to announce our new daily broadcast, streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV, proudly sponsored by our partners at Forexy and Markets.com. Join us every day on your favorite media channel. Learn how investments work, win a prize every day, and find out what most Forex brokers don't want you to know. Starting tomorrow, guys, we are launching a new talk show called Show Me the Money, where each and every one of you could win great prizes just by attending our live streams and answering a few simple questions about online trading and investments. Join us every day from 10 o'clock GMT plus 2 on your favorite media channel. Get the latest news at markets opening. Learn what most Forex brokers don't want you to know and get rewarded for it. Big giveaways every Tuesday and Wednesday morning for the ones of you that want to learn how investments work and answer correctly to a few simple questions about online trading and CFDs. Have I got your attention yet, guys? Good morning. Happy Monday, people. You can all find all the links in the description down below. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, follow us on your favorite media channel, and support us in delivering more great content. Good morning, everyone, and welcome everyone to the European markets opening. What a week we had last week. What a week, guys. US elections weighted heavily on volatility on all major assets, creating big swings and great opportunities for some traders. If Friday no one knew who the new president of the United States is, today we know. The new president of America for the 2020-2024 mandate is Joe Biden, guys. Congratulations, Joe Biden, and congratulations, Donald Trump, for one of the most exciting US elections in the history of the United States. Let's see, where do we take it from here? Now, let's have a great week, guys, with more guests. Stay tuned, follow us, and you will see the new guests that I have this week. Let's see how the markets opened after the announcement of the new U.S. president. European stocks are seen higher today as the new U.S. president brings new trade hopes for Europe and the United States. Oil prices jumped, pushing both Brent and crude oil about $1 higher. Gold futures are still trading high at $19.57 an ounce. And Bitcoin, the absolute champion, takes a breath around the $15,400 mark. Let's start with a couple of interesting articles, guys. So the first and foremost, the new U.S. president with 290 votes versus 214 is Joe Biden, guys. Congratulations once again to both candidates for an amazing race. We saw Joe Biden and Donald Trump in the last Friday, getting a rally ready. 5 states, 4 cities. What an amazing race we had. But Joe Biden won the elections. Donald Trump was so close, guys. So close of winning the elections. It was one of the tightest races in the U.S. history. Now, let's see what the markets have to say once the new president was announced. European stock futures seen higher. Biden win boosts risk sentiment. Very important day, very big week for currencies and commodities all around the world, guys. Also for the stock markets. European stock markets are seen opening firmly higher today as investors take on more risk. Now the uncertainty of the U.S. presidential election appears to be over and more fiscal stimulus looks very, very likely. At 2 a.m. Eastern time, which is 7 o'clock GMT, guys, the DAX futures contract in Germany traded 1.7% higher. CAC 40 futures in France climbed 1.5%, and the FTSE 100 futures contract in the UK rose 1.2%. Democrat candidate Joe Biden claimed the 270 electoral college votes required for victory in the U.S. president race on Saturday by winning the battleground state of Pennsylvania, seemingly putting an end to a tight and highly charged elections. Although President Donald Trump, the first incumbent to lose the re-election bid in 28 years, had not conceded so far, he will find it difficult to overturn the results with his unproven allegations of voting fraud. Let's remember, guys, Donald Trump filed no more nor less than 3 big lawsuits to stop the vote counting. That didn't happen. The vote counting continued, and Joe Biden was elected as the new president of the United States. Republicans appear to have retained control of the Senate, though the final makeup may not be clear until runoff votes in Georgia in January. Biden is promising major spending increases, notably in healthcare, education, and infrastructure projects. We also could be looking at major tax and regulatory changes. However, if Congress remains in Republican hands, we could see many of these policies watered down, said the ING James Knightley in a research note. The rapidly spreading COVID remains a major market headwind both in Europe and America. The U.S. state of Utah has placed under a state of emergency on Sunday to address hospital overcrowding, while the total number of infections in the country rose past 10 million cases. Several European countries have already responded by locking down sections of their economies once again. More anti-COVID measures could lead to another contraction in the U.S. economy, added ING's Knightley, and given the political animosity between both sides, getting agreement on efforts to help the country get through this difficult period could be very, very difficult. Europe also has Brexit to deal with, as the November 15 deadline for a trade deal between Britain and the European Union draws ever closer. Major differences over the so-called level playing field rules for businesses and access to British fishing waters still exist. Oil prices, guys, surged on Monday with Biden's victory in the U.S. presidential race, buoying risk appetite for traders look for a larger COVID relief package, offsetting worries about the impact on demand from a worsening pandemic. U.S. crude futures traded 2.5% higher at $38.05 a barrel, while the international benchmark Brent crude rose 2.3% to 40.37, recovering after losing 4% on Friday, guys. If you remember, massive volatility last week, the entire week. And Friday, the markets were very, very tired. The markets didn't even react to the non-farm payroll announcement, guys, which came out over 600,000 jobs versus an expectation of consensus of only 600,000 on the dot. Gold futures also rose 0.3% to 1957.85 an ounce, but remained on course for its biggest weekly gain since July, while the Euro USD traded 0.2% higher at 118.94. We're going to have a look at the charts in the next couple of minutes, guys. Until then, let's have a quick look at another interesting article and see how the US stocks reacted and what was the reaction of the markets on the other side of the pond when Joe Biden was announced as the new president of the United States. U.S. stock index futures rose on Sunday after President-elect Joe Biden was declared the winner in a highly contentious election. Biden's victory in Pennsylvania on Saturday put him above the 270 electoral college votes needed to secure the presidency 4 days after Election Day, although President Donald Trump does not plan to concede anytime soon. S&P 500 E-mini futures were up 34.5 points or 0.99%. Dow E-minis were up 277 points or 0.98%, and the Nasdaq 100 E-mini were up 147.25 points or 122%. Shares in Asia were modestly higher, with MSCI broadcast index of Asia Pacific shares outside of Japan up 0.36% after 6.2% gain in the prior week. It is its best weekly performance in 5 months. U.S. stocks closed Friday session little change, but each of the three major indices still managed to notch their biggest weekly percentage gains since April, in part due to the belief Congress will remain divided, even as control of the Senate is still undecided. Although the president has not conceded and there was concern regarding legal challenges, prominent Republicans, including former President George W. Bush, in essence, publicly called the election, and the market has embraced the election results too, said Quincy Crosby, chief market strategist at Prudential Financial in Newark, New Jersey. A new fiscal stimulus package to combat the economic damage done by the COVID is also less likely to be brought, while U.S. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell last week indicated he desired the bill by the end of the year. He said on Friday that economic statistics show Congress should enact a smaller plan. This is what is happening. This is how the U.S. Markets reacted. Let's have a quick look at the charts, guys, and see what happened this morning at European opening. We are already 11 minutes into the European trading session. Let's see what happened with the assets, how the markets opened today, guys. We're going to start with Crude oil. Wow, again, we have a tiny issue with the charts this morning, guys. Very, a lot of activity. A lot of activity. The good news is we see a lot of green in the top section of the charts. Bear with me for a second, guys. I'm gonna try and fix it like every other day. Bear with me for a second. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be back live in 30 seconds with the new charts on the screen. All right, guys, and we're back. Apparently, we do have new charts on the screen. Bear with me for a second. I'll bring them on the big screen in just a second. I don't know why charts on investing.com are very difficult to look at today at the market opening. They seem to be having some bugs somewhere. Right, let's start with the other charts, guys. We are looking at the dollar index. The dollar index, which is trading lower, is currently trading at 92,197, and apparently is looking to push even lower this morning at the market opening. Then we're going to move on to the Euro USD, guys, the European currencies. Very good market opening for the Euro, which has been ranging on a daily chart. Yeah, this is a daily chart. A lot of buying power, a lot of volume at the market's opening. If you look carefully, guys, at the bottom of the chart. The markets opened on a positive note today. There is big volume on the markets. We might see the Euro pushing slightly higher at some point today. But of course, we cannot ignore the trading signals and the announcements in the economic calendar. We're moving on to the pound. Wow, a lot of pop-ups, guys. A lot of pop-ups. The pound, the cable, is currently trading at 131.76. Positive market opening for the pound. Not a lot of volume on the markets this morning, but the day is young, guys. The market's only opened 14 minutes ago. Maybe the volume will come. Let's move on to USD JPY. We see a positive opening, but a lot of volume, a lot of selling volume on the markets for the USD JPY pair. Will the US dollar continue the downtrend? Will it recover today? Only time will tell. 103.48 for USD JPY as things stand right now. Crude oil, guys. Positive opening for crude oil, you can see on the charts now. Crude oil currently trading at 37.97, just 3 cents short of the $40 mark. Will crude oil push slightly higher today? Let's see what's going to happen. The level everyone is eyeing as things stand right now, guys, is the 39.16 mark. Okay, as that's the most recent high. Will that happen at some point today? Will crude oil manage to push even higher? Only time will tell. UK oil, guys. Again, positive opening for UK oil. We see a bit more volume on the Brent crude this morning, guys. 40.32 for Brent crude. Again, eyes are on the 41.46 level as that's the previous high. Will oil gain another $1 today? Will traders set their take profit targets at the 41.50 level? And if they will do so, will that be hit? Only time will show us. We're looking at gold now, which again opened higher. We see a tiny red candlestick opening. Let's not forget, we're looking at the charts on a daily chart. Okay, so decrease the time frame, guys. Decrease the time frame if you wanna trade intraday. 1961 for gold right now, on the back of a weaker dollar. Will the dollar weaken even more? Only time will tell. Let's have a quick look at VIX, guys, the volatility index, which is calming down. 24.8 for the volatility index. It might push even lower. The markets might calm down today around the 21.3 level. Very interesting market opening. Check out those swings, guys, that happened in the last couple of months. Huge swings on the daily chart for the volatility index. Now, what else do we have today? The SPX, guys. SPX index, Standard & Poor 500, is currently trading at 3509, way ahead of the US opening. How will the markets open today? All the signs are pointing to a higher opening on the European market session and on the US market session today, guys. It's probably going to be an amazing trading week. Now, let's have a quick look at the economic calendar, see what is happening today, what's expected to happen tomorrow, and what might change the direction of the assets. So we started at 8:45 GMT plus 2, guys. We had unemployment rate announced on the Swiss franc. It came out 3.2%. It came out in green, and 3.3% respectively. 1 point below consensus expectations. Very, very well done for the Swiss franc. At 11:25, guys. We had the German trade balance at 9 o'clock on the dot this morning. Came out 17.8 billion. 2 billion higher than what consensus was expecting at 15.8. At 11:25 today, GMT plus 2, ECB President Christine Lagarde will have a press conference. We're going to see a bit of movement on the euro possibly just before lunchtime, followed by a press conference from the Bank of England at 12:35. And then at 1400 hours, 2 o'clock, 2 hours after lunchtime, we're going to have again a press conference from ECB, followed by another press conference on the from Bank of England. Quite a few press conferences today, guys, in the Eurozone and on the pound. Hey, very interesting to see what's going to happen on the markets and how will the U.S. markets open today. What will be the boost that we get from the U.S. markets opening? So, fairly quiet day today, guys. Let's not remember, today is the first official trading day when the new president, Joe Biden, is announced. How will the markets digest that news? Now, moving on to tomorrow, guys. After midnight, we're going to have a few announcements on the JPY. At 2:01, retail sales monitor on the pound. 2:30 a.m. we're going to have NAB business confidence on the Australian dollar, followed by 3 announcements on the Chinese yuan. Consumer price index and producer price index will be announced on the Chinese yuan, way ahead of the European opening tomorrow. Then we're going to start the day nice and early with announcements on the pound. 4 big announcements, average earnings index plus bonuses, which is very important in measuring the economy and how much people are getting paid in the UK. We're going to have claimant count charge, employment change, okay, and the unemployment rate tomorrow morning. Very, very interesting, very important news on the pound, guys. The unemployment rate, which is expected to come out 4.8% by economists. It's seen 3 points higher than the previous month, which was only 4.5%. Then we're going to have German ZW current conditions and the sentiment in the Eurozone at lunchtime tomorrow. Again, that should create a bit of volatility in the Eurozone and in the afternoon, guys. After the US opening, we're going to have job openings, WASD report, API crude oil stock. Very interesting news that will definitely give us something to trade on. I'm not going to go further with the economic calendar, guys. I prefer to give you the news as they come out every day. Okay, as you might not remember what's going to happen on Thursday. But again, big week this week. I'm expecting more guests in the studio, more guests via Skype. Let's talk about the new American president. Let's talk about the current market conditions and how will we end this year. Will this year end in red? We're going to see a red C all over the charts, and the markets should recover in the first quarter of 2021. Or with Joe Biden's election, the markets will calm down and will give us a green year end. What's going to happen? God knows. But stay in touch with us. Stay tuned, guys, and don't miss out. Every day we're bringing you the latest news. Join me at 4:30 for U.S. markets opening. Let's ring the bell for the first time this week and for the first time under a new American president, and let's see what's going to happen. Until then, remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money. Happy Monday, guys.